Alright, 8th grade, we're going to do day 5's version of calendar math. The things you're going to need today is a blank piece of paper, a pencil, and your calculator. Now remember, I'm going to give you a slide, and in the bottom corner, that's how much time you're going to get on it. So when I say start on this one, we're going to set a 3-minute timer, and then I'm going to start going over everything. So go ahead and start. And I didn't want to leave you guys hanging dry, so there is the information for the month and the 9 weeks. So in going over our answers, we should have 9 over 31, and that becomes a really long decimal. It becomes 0.2903, and then we got some numbers going on after that. So what we'll do is we'll focus really on the first 3 numbers. You look at the first number or the second number and look at the number behind it. So 0.29's there. 0 is going to make it stay the same. As a percent, that's going to be 29%. Okay? And then we'll flash forward over here to 9 weeks. We have 33 over 45. And to turn that into a decimal, I'm going to have to divide. And when I get that in my calculator, I get 0.73 repeated. Well, we know that if it's 0.73333, when I go to round it, I'm going to look at the second number and the number after it. It's kind of easier if I just do that with a marker, I think. Second number, and then I'll look at the number after it. It is below 5, so 4 or less, just ignore, so it becomes 0.73. And that translates to 73%. Now, in our next slide, you again are going to have 3 minutes. And I need you to look at this line and tell me what my slope is and tell me what my y-intercept is. Okay, you may begin. Okay, well, the easiest part to do is to figure out where is it crossing this y-axis, and it's crossing it right in the middle. So that means that b equals 0, because 0 is my origin. So then I need to find out what m equals, and I do that by making a triangle. You guys remember those triangles? So what I end up with is it goes up 1, 2, 3, and then it goes to the right 1. So I have 3 over 1, and we can try another one just to make sure. Okay, it's going over 1, and then up 1, 2, 3. So again, I ended up with 3 over 1. So those are equal to each other. So that means that m equals 3 over 1, or just 3. So if I write my equation, y equals 3x plus 0, or I don't even really have to put plus 0 because that's not changing the equation at all. So it could just be y equals 3x. But if you're one of those people that like to be technical, put plus 0 on there. That's fine. Now in our next slide, you again are going to have 3 minutes. Go ahead and begin. Okay, now in going over the answer, I need to recognize that this is division. So I'm going to divide this number, I'm going to divide by this number. Okay, it's that simple. So when I do 2.7 divided by 0.9, it should give me 3, which is the same thing as 3.0. Okay, and then I just look at my exponents. I have 11 here and 6 here. And when we're dividing, we end up subtracting them. So that means 11 minus 6 equals 5. So times 10 to the 5th. And that is your final answer on that one. Rational or irrational. If you remember correctly, there's two things it has to be for it to be irrational. It has to be a non-repeating number and a non-terminating number. Pi is 3.14 blah blah blah, and it goes on forever. So since it goes on forever, that means that it is non-terminating. At no point in the number pi does it repeat, so that's also non-terminating. Therefore, pi is irrational. Okay. Perfect squares and perfect cubes, you have 2 minutes. Go ahead and begin. Alright, and here is your answers. Just remember that when you're typing this in your calculator for a perfect cube, you have to hit your number. So your number, then you hit the second button, then you hit the arrow button, and then you type in your exponent. So if it's to the x to the third, then you type in your exponent for whatever number you want for 3 right there. Okay, that's how you type it in your calculator. This next one, you're going from greatest to least. You have 2 minutes. Go ahead and begin. Now when we're going over this, I went ahead and changed 1/100th to the fraction, or to the decimal, I'm sorry, that it should look like. So now it might pop out a little bit in your head that like, oh, okay, that means 100's the greatest, 2 is the second greatest, and then my least is 0.01, also known as 1/100th. And we have to remember that when you have that on the end of a number, get that TH on the end of a number, so if I say 1,000ths, that means that it is a decimal. Okay? Pythagorean theorem. This one you're going to have 3 minutes. Just remember that it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Go ahead and begin. So, all I've done is I took A and put it there, and B and put it there, because I don't know what C is. So then, from here, I add these two together. 6 squared plus 8 squared is 100 equals C squared. So from there, to get it to simplify, I need to do square root of 100 to cross out this little 2 on the C. So C equals 10. And that is your Pythagorean theorem, and that's how you found C. So, our last slide is exponents. And you've got to remember that when in doubt, expand it out, write it all the way out. This one you will have 3 minutes. You may begin. Okay, so from here, what I did was I wrote it out a total of 3 times here, because my exponent was 3. So then from there, I just have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, x, I have 6 of them, and y, I just have 1, 2, 3. So it becomes y to the third. And that is my final answer. I hope you guys have a great day today.